So many dead bees outside the hive, but so many living bees inside. It must be April in Alaska.
Buzz.
Spring hasn't quite sprung, but it has warmed up enough to do a little work on the warehouse roof. Today's tasks: remove insulation, clean bottom boards, and check the candy boards. Before I begin, a quick apology. My field microphone broke, so all we have is my narration after the fact. On the positive side, I don't have to edit out what I said when I got my first sting of the year. When the snow finally melts on the rooftop, I can see every dead bee that died all winter long. But what really matters is how many living bees remain, and all of these colonies are doing just fine. Every fall I add extra insulation to my poly boxes. It may be overkill, but this is Alaska, and I am trying to get a tropical insect to survive a subarctic winter. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I always tape the seams and add foam insulation, but this year I added a reflective shell sealed at the top with Tyvek tape to minimize heat loss. I'm very happy with how it worked out. Not only did the shells provide some extra insulation, but the overhang created a kind of awning that protected the entrance from snow and ice. The deconstruction process is pretty simple. I cut the tape that holds the external insulation together, then slide it off. Then I loosen the Tyvek tape on the top and lift off the reflective shell. I take the lid off to do this, but this doesn't expose the bees to the cold because I have plenty of insulation beneath it. You can see that I secure each hive to the hive stand with a ratchet strap. Winter winds can exceed 60 miles an hour on the exposed warehouse roof, and the ratchet straps make sure everything stays together. Even in a healthy hive, many bees die over the winter. They can pile up on the bottom board, and when the temperature's warm, start to molder. It's kind of gross. Giving the colony a clean bottom board lets them focus on other tasks, such as raising a new population of foragers for summer. I put down a clean bottom board, then lift the hive onto it. Most are pretty light because they've consumed almost all of their honey. The top of the hive is covered with insulation, so most of the time they don't even know they're being moved. The small wooden rectangle below this hive is called a winter shim. It's just a small box with an opening on the top. It provides room for dead bees to accumulate without blocking the entrance. I clean off the detritus that collects below the screen bottom board, then move on to the next hive. This bottom board has a lot more dead bees. I don't know why. And they didn't eat any of their winter sugar. I know they're alive because they've maintained a good temperature all winter. I move the sugar aside to look through the hole in the inner cover. They're down there, but their population is smaller than the other colonies. This colony is right beside them. The population is strong and they've eaten about half of the sugar. This is what I'm seeing in almost all of my colonies. Each colony gets a clean bottom board and a candy board check. Only one colony needed more sugar today, but they're all getting a little low on food. I'll add pollen patties tomorrow and start feeding them sugar syrup when it warms up a bit next week.